So I've spent the last 15 years helping clients lose weight as a doctor. And here's what I've learned. Most fat loss advice focuses on the wrong things. People are cutting calories, exercising more, trying to be disciplined. And when it doesn't work, they assume that there's something wrong with them. That's not true. They've just never had anyone explain how fat loss actually works inside the body. So in this video, I'm going to condense 15 years of real-world experience, fat loss lessons, into a few core principles that actually determine whether fat comes off and whether it stays off. The things most advice ignores, but the body responds to them every time. So to start, I'm going to show you why trying harder is often the exact thing keeping fat loss from working. Over the years, I've worked with hundreds of thousands of people trying to lose weight. And this is everything from like CEOs or business owners or executives, nurses, people who ran companies, and then families at the same time. And these are some of the most disciplined people you'll ever meet, is my point. They wake up early, they follow through, they handle pressure, and yet weight loss is the one area where they feel like nothing sticks. That tells you something important, that this isn't a discipline issue. Perfect example, regardless of what you feel about her, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah didn't casually try to lose weight. She went all in. In the late 80s, she was following a strict 4-month liquid diet. No solid food, just liquid. And the results were dramatic. She dropped down to 145 pounds and then famously rolled a wagon containing 67 pounds of fat onto her television show, and the world then knew exactly what she had lost. At the time, it looked like a massive success, but 4 years later, when she walked into the daytime Emmy Awards, the weight was all back plus another 25 pounds. Now, here's the key part of that story that most people miss. Oprah didn't regain the weight because she stopped trying to lose it. She regained it because it's impossible to live on a liquid diet forever. While she was on it, her body adapted to the extreme diet. So when normal eating returned, her body immediately pushed back toward the weight it had learned to defend. And it's this pattern where you try something extreme to lose weight and then it backfires on you. See, their body responds by saving energy and preparing to put the weight back on as soon as the extreme diet is over. It's why fat loss that isn't sustainable doesn't just stop working. In the long run, it actually works against you. The solution is to stop trying these extreme fad weight loss methods that require a ton of discipline to stick with, and instead simply take discipline out of the equation. I do that with a simple 3-step system that changes what your body is responding to instead of forcing it to comply. The first step is to stop dieting and build something you can actually live on. The way you eat off the diet is your lifestyle, and what matters is what you go back to once it's over. So before you start any sort of extreme diet, ask yourself one simple question. Would I eat this on a random Tuesday when I'm busy and stressed? So if your answer is no, it's not sustainable and the weight will come back. The second step then is removing the need for willpower instead of trying to increase it. Willpower is limited, so you can't rely on it. You need to change your environment instead. That means cleaning up the food around you so you're not relying on self-control at nighttime. It means eating real meals instead of just grazing because it gets you in trouble and you overeat. It means building those meals around protein and healthy fats and fiber so that your blood sugar stays stable. When hunger and energy are steady, cravings stop driving your decision and discipline stops being the bottleneck. The third step is to aim for progress, not perfection. Oh, I've taught this so many times and so many people resonate with this. What I see over and over again is people trying to change everything at one time. They lock themselves into these strict rules. Almost sometimes don't even start because they don't have all their ducks in a row. They hold it together briefly, just like Oprah did with the extreme dieting, and it works temporarily. But the moment life interferes, the system collapses and the weight comes back. So instead, focus on small, repeatable improvements. If you just got 1% better each day, one better meal choice, one less late night snack, one less item in your grocery cart, one more walk after dinner, those wins not only gradually improve fat loss, but they actually calm your nervous system down as well, which makes fat loss even easier. That's how you get real results without extreme rules or constant discipline. Work on the lifestyle, not in the diet. Which brings us to the next big problem, number 2, that I see all the time. A lot of people reach a point where they've fixed their diet, they're eating clean, they've cut out the obvious problem foods, processed foods, and yet fat loss still doesn't happen. When that's the case, the issue usually isn't food anymore. It's something most people don't expect. The built-in response your body body uses to protect itself. A good way to understand it is to think of an old medieval castle. A castle's job is to protect what's inside. When there's no threat, the gate in the wall stays down and resources move freely in and out of the gates. But when the castle comes under attack, the strategy changes. The gates close, the walls are reinforced, supplies are conserved, everything shifts towards defense. And those walls don't weaken while the attack is still happening. They stay reinforced until the threat is gone. Your body works the same way. Your cells. Fat is not just stored energy. Fat is one of the ways that your body protects itself long term. And when your body senses ongoing threat, it reinforces that protection by holding on to it. This is why fat loss can stall even when your diet is perfect, because your body feels like it's under attack. And unfortunately, most people respond in the worst way possible. They assume the answer is to become more strict with the food they eat or increase exercise. But from the body's perspective, that doesn't reduce the threat. It adds to it. The walls get reinforced even more. So the real solution isn't usually to push harder. It's to remove the three signals that are keeping the body's defense systems up. And the first, and one of the strongest of those three signals, is sleep. If you're getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep, your bedtime is all over the place, your body is under constant strain. That keeps stress hormones elevated. Cortisol is through the roof, and it tells your system it's not safe to let go of your stored energy. You don't have to get perfect sleep, just consistent sleep. Going to bed and waking up around the same time most days. Getting enough hours that you don't feel run down. Often enough to lower that signal. And I feel like technology is robbing you of a couple hours every single night. The second major signal is the type and amount of exercise that you're doing. Long, exhausting workouts can keep the body in a stressed state. Daily, long-distance cardio sessions, hour-long, high-intensity classes, training hard without recovery days. If you're constantly sore or fatigued, your body is going to prioritize repair. It's like it can never catch up. Your body's never prioritizing repair. It's definitely not prioritizing fat loss. That's why I recommend shorter, focused workouts instead. A quick 10-minute HIIT session is enough to send the signal your body needs without driving stress hormones through the roof. It stimulates muscles, improves insulin sensitivity, and supports fat burning while still allowing your body to recover. So for those of you that are interested, I'll include a link of 5 of my free 10-minute workouts in the description below. And then the next time you're scrambling for exercise or thinking you have to hit a treadmill or an elliptical for an hour, plug into one of those 10-minute workouts. You'd be amazed how you get the sweat going, you get your heartbeat going, you start tapping into fat burning in 10 minutes and you're done. Now, the third signal that matters is the state of your nervous system. You're kind of stuck. You're doing a lot of things right with nutrition. You're stuck at this weight loss plateau. Fat loss is a form of healing, and the body will not heal in a constant state of stress. That's why my clients, my followers, people in our challenges do daily breathing to calm the system down. Our nervous systems are cranked up, so stimulated, so much stress response, driving to work, deadlines at work, kids, events, schedules. So the simplest way to counteract that in minutes a day is paced breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, then exhale out of your mouth for at least 4 or 5 seconds. The longer exhale tells your body it's safe. Do it for 1-minute increments while you're driving, before bed, when you wake up in the morning first thing, a couple of times a day, especially during stressful seasons. This makes a humongous difference because it activates your calming nervous system, which says it's okay. You can release fat. You can lower stress levels. You can digest your food properly. You can balance out your thyroid. You can allow your inflammation to calm down. We don't have to be in a stress response. When those 3 signals start to come down, you're getting better rest, you're doing shorter, high-intensity exercises, you're doing your daily breathing. The body no longer feels like it's under attack. And when the attack stops, the walls can finally come down. Now, let's go to number 3. The next mistake that I see all the time. A lot of people are trying to add their way out of a subtraction problem. What I'm referring to here is people start piling on more and more things for their health, hoping that one of them finally makes fat loss work. New supplements, smarter macros, superfoods, advanced strategies. But if you haven't cleaned up the basics yet, the foundational pieces, no amount of supplements are going to make you lose weight. Here's how I think about it. Your body already knows how to burn fat. So the issue isn't that fat burning is missing, it's that it's blocked. light. The sun is still shining, but the clouds are in the way. So if you want to see the sun, you have to remove what's blocking it. That's why I teach the importance of eliminating or subtracting before you optimize or add. Before you worry about advanced strategies, you have to remove the biggest offenders that interfere with fat loss first and often. And some of the biggest examples include refined sugars and processed carbs. So many people still tell me that I'm eating a no sugar diet. I've completely cleaned up my diet. I'm like, write down everything you ate in the last 24 hours and don't lie on a single thing and let me see. Use my free app to look at the foods that you're actually putting into your body. And a lot of those foods, they keep blood sugar unstable and insulin elevated. Rancid seed oils, which are common in packaged and restaurant foods, they drive inflammation and signal the body to store fat. You want to talk about defense systems up really quickly. Bad fats will clog that castle up faster than anything. Artificial ingredients, especially artificial sweeteners, they're treated like toxins in the body. They actually work against other toxins in the body and make other toxins worse. Highly processed proteins, deli meats, protein bars, these overload your liver with chemical additives that prevent it from burning fat. These are fat-blocking foods most people often eat every single day without realizing it. They're even hidden in so-called healthy foods that you'd never expect. And in order to spot them, you need to start turning food labels over and reading the ingredient list of everything that you buy. If the list is long, filled with words you don't recognize, or packed with an obvious rancid oil, sweetener, or additive, it's a sign that the food is creating more stress than nourishment. Then when you're deciding what to buy, prioritize foods that are as close to their original form as possible. Whole foods with short ingredient lists. These give your body less to process and less to defend against. So I actually created a free scanner for your smartphone. It looks at the ingredient list on any food packaging and it tells you whether or not it's safe for fat loss. If you're interested in that app, I'll include a link to that in the description below. It is completely free. You just create a login and you'll be able to use the scanner. You'll also be able to see content just like this right at your fingertips to keep learning so you can unlock the drawbridge, drop it down, get out of defense mode, and start freely burning fat long term, not just as a short-term diet, as an actual lifestyle. Now, here's the problem. Most people here eliminate the foods that block fat loss, and they assume they already know what those foods are. I cannot overstress this. They think it's just sugar or calories or maybe carbs, but in my experience, almost everyone is still eating at least one food every single day that keeps their body in defense mode, even if they think they're eating health. So that's why in my next video, I break this down step by step. I show you the exact foods I would remove first, why each one blocks fat loss, and the order you need to eliminate them in so that your body can actually respond instead of pushing back. So if you're serious about fat loss, this is a must watch. I'll put a link to that video right here. Click to watch it next, and I will see you there.